Hello, Catherine Edwards.
Hello, Mark Atwood. How are you, Mark Atwood?
What's your middle name?
Louise.
Hello, Catherine Louise Edwards.
Hello, Mark. What's your middle name, Atwood? What is it? What's your middle name? Should we make Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, I always get confused whether it's Anthony or Anthony. They're different names, are they?
Yeah, mine's not got a H.
It's not got an H. An H, as we say in Surrey, not a H. How you doing anyway? What's your weekend been like?
Busy. Just shows kids, cleaning, shows kids. But I am taking on a space. I'm building a studio.
Are you? Good. I'm in my little one, as you know. Well, it's quite a big one, actually, my garden. I love it. It makes it so much easier, doesn't it, having a set space. Hi, everyone who's joining us as well.
Yeah, well, yours is great, but mine's sort of in the house, and I want to turn this into a games room. So
yeah,
for the kiddies, because it's getting cluttered with all my stuff, all these props and things. So I need somewhere else to go. And I just want to make the whole thing more professional because I've realized I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, I think.
Wow, that's a big statement. I've never got any idea what I'm going to be doing next week, let alone for the rest of my life.
Well, this just arrived.
Right.
Have you heard of this?
Burdock Root. Of course I've heard of Burdock Root. I'm a herbalist. In fact, I put a picture on my Instagram this morning of me out riding my horse self-selecting Burdock Root to show you what the real plant looks like, and I've got a 25 kilogram sack of it in my horse's field. I love Burdock Root, been using it for years. It's amazing.
I didn't know anything about it until last week.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Most people who've got certainly horses will know about it. But it's just so good for so many different things, as you're learning, detoxing the body, skin, liver support, digestive support. It's absolutely amazing. You can make a nice dandelion and burdock coffee as well.
Well, this is the thing. It was Honey C. Golden that told me about it and said it was really good for spiritual development. So I went and ordered some straight away. And then it struck me that I loved Dandelion and Burdock when I was a kid, the drink.
Yeah.
And they never heard of it because I don't think they have it in the States. But and I'd forgotten all about Dandelion and Burdock because I have not drunk soft drinks in 12 years.
No, I've just got my structured water here. I don't really drink soft drinks. For me, it's water or wine.
I've just finished the pint.
Juice.
I've just finished the pint of Guinness.
Yeah. All my green shirts. But I mean, I think virtually every herb is good for spiritual development. Every herb has got obviously its own frequency, its own resonance, its own purpose. And when you're cleansing your physical vessel, obviously you're cleansing your spiritual connection as well. So I've yet to come across a herb and obviously you can use them in so many different forms that aren't great for spiritual development.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa Cry Freedoms just said, afternoon, chaps. Saw Catherine speak at New Horizons, Livingston, and she is great. What was that then? New Horizons. I have
no idea what that is. I've never heard of New Horizons, and it wasn't me if it was there. Where? Lymington?
No, Lytham St Anne's, which is near Blackpool.
Well, no, I've no idea what she's talking about. I haven't been.
Lisa, I think you got mistaken identity there.
Unless she meant when I did go up to Blackpool with my friends to see a show, Katie Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
Alex Belfield, but I didn't speak, but I saw lots of amazing people there. And I'll tell you what, that unless it was there, let us know if it was there. That audience there were off the scale brilliant. And the stories that I heard from people there were absolutely amazing. So many great connections, so many people who were really doing positive things, and also hearing everyone's different awakening journeys and why they were so eyes wide open. So it might well have been there because I did speak to a lot of people that night and they were all amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what was the crowd? Yeah, I'm sorry, you just told me what the crowd's like, but it's interesting because Kate Hopkins has been doing some great stuff online, and so is Alex Belfield. But it's never crossed my mind to say hello to them. Have you said hello to them?
No, it hasn't, because like everything, it's sort of horses for courses. I mean, we went because one of my friends arranged it. Thank you, Andrea, for a group of us to get together, and it was just a brilliant weekend. But you know, it's like everyone, there's bits you resonate, bits you don't, and it's interesting stuff watching that. But I'm very much in the mindset at the moment. I'm just focusing on what do I resonate, and we don't all have to agree on everything, and that's the important point, I think, that so many people miss, is the fact that you can really take something really amazing from some people and not necessarily resonate with others. And I'm not going to sit there and spend my time talking about the bits that don't resonate with me. I'd rather be talking about the bits that do resonate with me.
So you've been very busy with Ismail Perez recently. How's that? That's pretty good stuff.
Really good stuff. I mean, you know, that's a classic example. This is stuff that's very, very new for me. Yeah, I've got my copy here as well, but I need to free up some time to actually.
I know reading is so hard at the moment.
I just love reading so much, but I am thinking very soon of actually taking a week off and just catching up on some.
You can't do that.
I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I never do it because I love what I do. But Ismail is amazing, and each time I speak to him, I love him more and more. And people, I think, it really fascinates me when I see people's reaction to things. It's like I was just saying to you, Mark, and we've spoken about this before. If I talk to someone, I really would be very disappointed if we agreed on every issue, because how are we going to learn? How are we going to look at things from new perspectives? How are we going to open new eyes? And this whole fascination. I mean, I'm a scientist, my scientific background. By the way, do you like my Be Happy t-shirt?
Very nice.
I love it. I love wearing that. It's got me free coffees, this t-shirt has. It cheers people up when I go. But yeah, what I find really fascinating is this constant, are you watching, listening, engaging in your life to prove someone wrong or look to catch them out? Or are you looking to take it? So I don't get hung up on whether this fact is correct or not. I mean, one, we just don't know. It's just an opinion. It's just a point of view. Secondly, we're all looking at things through different perspectives. So, you know, we're looking at it through our own filter. So immediately we're putting another dimension on that. And I take it in terms of, does this person uplift me? In my heart, do I feel a resonance there? Am I getting something positive from it? Are other people getting something positive from it? So I'm really getting quite narky with negative nannies on my channel, and just thinking, do you know what? I take your moaning elsewhere, because it's not about not free speech. That's not what I mean. But there's a constructive discussion and there's a critical, you know, just looking to pick holes and criticize, and there's a big difference. Yeah,
I've got a major problem with fighting, and a major problem with aggression, and I just think, you know, I just never understood it. It's like people that moan about getting junk mail, and just put it in the bin. Just put it in the bin.
Exactly.
People used to get really irate about stuff like that, and I don't know. It's a lot. I think I'm a lot more chilled than I was a year ago, and bad mouthing people as well. There's just no need for any of that.
No need for it at all. Like, you know, there's what do you think of their opinion? Now, I understand in discussions with friends, you're going to have discussions about what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But again, it's the intent behind it, isn't it? And a lot of people sort of say, just ignore these things. And everyone's approach is different, but I'm not going to change my personality because someone tells me to. And my personality is always, if someone's in a conversation and they're taking it down a negative, you know, we're all going to be morose and miserable at the end of it, I'm going to try and stop that in my tracks, because that's my personality. It doesn't mean I don't think that there's a time and a place for talking about things you're unhappy about, your problems, but there is a time and a place for it. So for me, I'm not going to encourage people getting more and more nasty by ignoring things, because you can see then someone else jumps on the bandwagon or not. So I'm feeling quite comfortable with just sort of saying, look, if it's really that simple. Like, if you don't like the junk mail, put it in the bin or the recycling, or use it to start your bonfire. If you don't like something, just switch it off. Don't torture yourself, and don't try and impose your negativity on others.
Oh, Lisa loves your hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I have some? I'm losing mine.
Oh, if you come over in a bit longer next time, and I'll stand you in the manure for longer, it grows really well. It makes everything grow. It's just seems like fun. He's just come back from uni, 6'4" and growing. Yeah.
That's what most people do. They just put me in the shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have you seen? I mentioned this on a live I did earlier, but did you see the? Oh, I can't find it now. Typical. There was a stand-up show. I can't remember his name now. Hang on, I'm gonna go and find him. There was a fantastic stand-up show I watched last night. I was laughing like a drain until 1 a.m. And come on, dig him out. Jim Brewer. Have you heard of
him? No.
You got it. I just put a little bit on. You honestly, you got to sit down with Mark and watch this. It's okay. It's brilliant. Let me find it.
I do love a good laugh. I really do, as you know. Particularly at my jokes, but I'm the only one that laughs at those.
Alpha, the Omega, and Charlie Brown. Stay inside. This is never ending. Holy crap. Poor old people would just stay in the basement. I don't know what the mice supposed to stay there. We'll come get you when it's safe.
Yeah, you have to go and watch that.
I will go and watch that. I do like a good laugh. I really do like a good laugh. It's so important. We all need a good laugh, you know.
But he's talking about the things, you know, and he's the first. Well, I don't know if he's the first comic, but he's facing everything head on.
Good.
And I don't know how he's getting the venues to put him on because, you know, I've been involved in 2 events in the last month that have had the venues closed down on us because of phone calls from ANTIFA.
Well, we should just all go in disguise.
Yeah.
Just say it's the Shepherd's Convention and we'll all come dressed as sheep, which I'd enjoy. You know I like dressing up.
Yeah.
And anyone else coming as a sheep, I'm quite happy to stroke you like sheep. So, you know, I think, you know, let's be creative here. There's always a way around this.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about being creative. I'm thinking of coming to England and going somewhere, doing a little event, doing a little spiritual event down south. I'm not going to say the place because there'll be phone calls from ANTIFA.
Yeah.
But haven't decided yet. What have you got coming up this summer?
What have I got coming up? I've got lots coming up. I'm going to be really annoying. And some of it I can't actually talk about at the moment because it's not confirmed. But I've got some very exciting slight changes of track in terms of potential new people I'm going to be speaking to, but ones that need booking quite far in advance. Because on a personal level, we're having our kitchen done at long last. So it's chaos here. It's been chaos for weeks with all my animals. You can imagine, mess everywhere. Be so worth it. So that's going to allow me to do a lot more of showing people my lotions and potions and ointments and using all my witchy herbs that I've got in the background, which I love. That's just my main passion, is using all these natural remedies and getting people to start using them as part of their day-to-day lives. So that's definitely something. And I'm really focusing on at the moment, I'm focusing on really walking my talk. So I'm really being really shit hot with my morning and evening routines. Really being really good at looking after physical health, because if you feel great physically, it affects your ability to make decisions and also to run faster if you're being chased, which is always useful. And just also, I'm really focusing on helping a lot of people. And I know this is something very close to your heart with your courses, but I'm really, really focused on helping people say, right, what can they do proactively to move their life up to the next level? So I'm about giving people solutions, because I'm not going to sit there and wallow in what can't we do. For me, sovereignty is about us as individuals taking our power back, not waiting for someone else to give it to us. And quite frankly, I'm seeing too many people sitting there on their backsides, watching and doing and saying they can't afford this or they can't do that. And I'm like, right, okay, let's provide some solutions and give people the choice for things that they can do.
Well, everybody watching this, you go to CatherineEdwardsAcademy.com, I think it is. And if you've got pets, go and get Catherine's courses on how to feed your pets properly, because they are amazing. You're a great teacher.
Thank you. I love it. I just love it, because all the things I'm doing are stuff that I do in my day-to-day life. And my other one is CatherineEdwards.life, which is where all the products I support. Because what I love, Mark, is like you know, I don't talk about stuff that I'm not doing myself.
Same here. It's very important.
Not always consistent. And what's great is when you do fall off the bandwagon. Like, I was speaking to my mother-in-law this morning, who's lovely. I know many people don't say that about my mother-in-laws, but my mother-in-law is lovely. And she had been on a particular product that I'd been recommending for a long while, and she tried it and she just had amazing results. And then she ran out for a week and just noticed straight away, and everyone around her noticed. And this is what really lifts me up. What lifts me up is that there's not a single person that's watching this that can't do something to make their lives better and the lives of those around them better. And that's what I really love. I love the fact of people. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter whether you're growing vegetables and giving some to your neighbours. It doesn't matter whether you're sharing recipes online or picking someone's kids up from school or sharing about what's working for you. I think this sharing our knowledge, because we're all good at different things and we've all got different passions, is really, really important. And then lifting others up. And when you find someone that's sharing really good stuff, share those, you know, getting rid of this competition and realizing it's always a win-win situation. And I want to be surrounded by people that lift me up, not that drag me down. And so that has meant a lot of culling. Some people have culled me because I can be irritating. You know, I had someone say to me the other day, "You're so annoying. You're always so positive."
Well, I've had that. My energy is too high. I'm too positive. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. But you know, that's the thing. It's like we have to realize that, you know, I'm not saying I purge, you know, but there's just as many people purge me out of their lives as I purge them. But it's really satisfying. You know, a lot of people are saying about how their circle is getting a lot smaller. And I've always had a fairly extended circle because I've got lots of different things that I'm interested in and connected with. But actually my close circle now is really, really small. And as a consequence, I've really noticed the difference in my own ability to really stay true to myself, I would say, Mark. I'd realised how easily still, even at my age, can get pulled off course if I'm surrounded myself with people where they don't resonate and I don't resonate with them.
Yeah, well, for me, Sarah says it here. It's collaboration. It's all about collaboration, and where we're going, there won't be any competition. Not in the way that we've been used to it. You know, it's like when I started teaching this stuff. This just happens to be on the table. I remember I was selling this for 2,000 quid at live events, and I'd hide all the information like this, and everybody was in competition with each other. It was like, well, I've got a secret bit of information and I'm going to charge loads of money for it. And I only did one of these, and this was like 8 hours. And then I just got off. It all became very distasteful to me, you know, which is why people can do my other courses for free if they've not got the money, because it's not, you know, it's not about, it's just, you know, it's like it's between 3 and 5D kind of bridging business and, you know, stuff like that. And that's why it has to be authentic when we're talking about things. I mean, that's why this Burdock Root, I mean, I love being told stuff that I didn't know about and then just going and acting upon it straight away. That's the way I think we should be. And the funny thing is, I don't know if I've told you this, but I'm becoming a bit of a healer. I've got all these machines here, Tesla machines and blah, blah, blah. I've got frequency machines and all this stuff. And people have started coming round and saying, "I've got a problem. Could you just..." And miraculous healing's been taking place, which is I never thought I'd be a healer. It's really funny.
I just absolutely love it. And I've got a network of therapists that have trained with me that work with animals, and they're all absolutely phenomenal. And again, this is part of it. It's passing it forward. And then everyone brings their own little unique energy, their own tweaks of ways to do it. You know, no two healers are the same. And what we're doing is we're just often, you know, giving people the belief system and just facilitating opening up those energy channels to actually let them heal themselves. And you know, I have been doing it. I've been censored long before the YouTube stuff. You know, being a holistic practitioner for 20 plus years, I've been censored. I've had so many notices that they were going to take my natural health product for animals and humans down so many times. And I always find a way around it because it's just bloody ridiculous. And the thing is I've been doing this so long that I know that my friends and I used to say, where there's a willy, there's a way. But what I mean is where there's a will, there's a way. You have to put a bit.
Hang on. It took us 21 minutes before a knob joke came into our chat.
Yeah, we have to just have a few of those just to make us really smile.
That's a record.
Yeah, that is a record. But, you know, I really do 100% know from personal experience that there is always a solution if the person really wants it. Now, whether that solution is via Joe Dispenza, or whether it's by a certain machine, or whether it's by products, whether it's by diets, that it's all of them. There's so many amazing solutions. And that's my passion, and has been for a long while, is bringing those to people. And then something, if that resonates with them, and if you're ready, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. When the student is really ready, the teacher will bog off. You know, so I think this is the thing, is like people now, with everyone in our communities are talking about sovereignty, but sovereignty means you take responsibility for yourself, whatever that might be, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's who you're mixing with, whatever it is. I really don't, you know, whatever it is, it's always something you can do about it.
Yeah, well, what I found interesting recently in the last couple of months, I mean, we had this whole Mercury in retrograde, then we had the Aries Jupiter thing, and it was a crazy 2 or 3 months that only something shifted significantly in the last few weeks. And I found myself being much more empathic towards people who've had this, for example. Mm-hmm. A year ago, I was not at all. I thought I was quite aggressive about them. There was a guy that came to my house once, and I told him to leave because he'd had that. He was like, "What? Yeah. You're asking me to leave your house?" I said, "Yes, you're a danger to me and my children. Go away." And I was like, I was pretty rude, to be honest. And I'm not proud of that fact. But I was watching a video from Kate Shirimani, you know, the nurse who's.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There was a good video of hers this morning. And she was talking about the fact that, you know, a lot of these people, they didn't do it because they were afraid of catching a terrible disease. They did it because they wanted to go on holiday, because of the peer pressure, because they wanted to keep their jobs. They were duped. And, you know, we've got to have, and I've certainly found this myself, have more empathy for people in that situation. I'm still in a, you know, but she was being very pessimistic about the outcome. Like she used lines like, when you see the children coming out of the hospitals in little white boxes, that's when people are going to be going crazy, when they can't get into the hospitals because they're on a skeleton staff. When, you know, this is just the beginning of all of this. And I found that a very pessimistic view. But where are you at with all of that? Because what I'm getting is I'm getting a lot of stuff about a big event, solar flash type stuff, the transformation. And yeah. I think I'm getting the feeling that that's actually much closer than a lot of people think, and it's going to be a miraculous time. And I do still believe that a lot of what Donald Trump said was true. And one of the lines that resonates with me that he said at one of his press conferences, which I put in one of my poems, was, when this virus washes through, it's going to be like a burst of light. Mm. And I think, you know, nothing can stop what's coming, number 17. And it's all there. Where are you at with all of that kind of thing?
Well, I'm going to go back to a comment I saw further up from Melinda, which I'm taking. Thank you, Melinda. It is a confident. She's saying that I'm more happy to give my opinions now. Actually, Melinda, I've always been really happy to give my opinions. In fact, probably too much. The thing is, Melinda, is normally I'm the one doing the interviewing, and I'm a strong believer that if I'm interviewing someone else, my job is to get the best out of my guests, not dominate the discussion with my own opinions. So thank you. I really appreciate that, Melinda. But normally it's because I'm on the other side of the fence and I'm got a guest on my show and I'm interviewing them. And then I really want to respect them and give them a chance to talk. But as anyone who saw my latest interview with Dave Mahoney, a mutual friend of ours, I'm very happy, even when I'm interviewing someone, if I do disagree with someone, to respectfully have a discussion on that. So going back to your question, I think it's really important. Where am I? I am really, really positive. I've known for years that you can heal anything if the person really wants to. And if the person really wants to is an important point to respect, because sometimes there are a certain stage where they don't want to for conscious or subconscious reasons. So when we're talking, I've been talking to Ishmael about the solar flash a lot. And for me, I would put it a bit like medbeds, my view of medbeds, Mark. I feel really positive. And for me, whether there's a physical solar flash or if it's a flash of enlightenment within ourselves as individuals, the effect is the same. And it can be both, because for some people, it might be a physical thing they see, because that might be what makes it believable for them. For others of us, it might be a flash of enlightenment where we really get the fact that we're going to reactivate our DNA and realize we really can heal ourselves. And I put the same thing with the med beds as well. You know, I 100% believe we can all heal ourselves with med beds, but I also know a lot of people, animals, need something physical to give them that belief. And I think both is relevant. So I feel really, really positive. And I think also, I've seen miraculous. There's so many, even simple physical solutions that people can do there.
Look who's here.
Oh, Danny! Hi, Danny.
And Abby. Abby was there as well. Oh, we've got a celebrity audience.
Oh, I'm seeing lots of really lovely, familiar names in the audience. I can't really read it all because I'm not going to put on my embarrassing glasses. Otherwise, Danny will have a go at me, telling me how awful they are again. Danny, but I'm seeing some of them because also I've been training my eyes not to. I just need a bigger computer screen. I really need to buy myself.
I'm trying not to wear these all the time as well, but it's
well, you've said I've got a tiny little MacBook and I keep meaning to buy myself a bigger computer screen, but it's either that or extra stuff for the guinea pigs.
Well, I know what's going to win that one.
So going back to the thing, I think it's really, really positive. And whatever that solar flash, whatever that medbed means to you as an individual, go with it. But don't get hung up on your definition being different to one of your friends, because some of you will need something physical to do it. Some of you won't. And so I think this is what we're starting to realize is there's so many different ways to get to the result that you want. And the way that's right for each of us will be individual to us.
Well, I had a healing today from one of my subscribers who I'm going to get on the show in a few weeks, and it was like EFT mixed with the emotion code mixed with something else, and it was gene keys, and it was only a couple of hours ago, and it was all done remotely, and it's all quantum, and it's phenomenal because she through this system she discovered that because I've got a hernia, right? So she overheard me say that I had a hernia, and I've not had it operated on because I don't want to go to any of the places that do the operations because I don't want them to sneak one of those into me or give me any of this. So I've
still got a sewing kit.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll come over. You do it.
Yeah.
I'd actually trust you to do it. You're probably one of the few people I would trust to do it.
Yeah, I could sort that out, no problem. But carry on. Sorry,
really? You can actually do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not trained, but I could easily sew up a hernia. Yeah, no worries. And I've got all the goo to make it work. I've bit of my magic clay and everything, and my red light therapy, you'd be well away. Yeah.
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 Well, I might take you up on that. But she said it could be healed without surgery. And I was like intrigued. So I did a session with her. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's these emotions that are trapped. And some of those emotions come from ancestral past, and she found out through her techniques that there were emotions there that go back 98 generations on my dad's side and 84 generations back on my mum's side, and they had to be cleared. And she was clearing them with a magnet over her head, and it was like the difference I feel is extraordinary. And that, you know, this is what I'm trying to say is with regard to med beds and stuff. You know, we've already got the technology; it's already here. We've, you know, and you're right. It's whatever resonates with you. I mean, the Tesla machines I've got, they're phenomenal. And they're simple, and all they're doing is replicating nature.
Yeah, completely. I mean, a lot of the supplements that I use and things like this, or things, they're just literally regenerating at a cellular level, and the results people are getting are amazing. But you know, as our friend Charlie says, your mind's like a parachute. If it's shut, it's no use. And if only you can decide to take action on your issue, and it's not anyone else's job to persuade you of that. I think it's so important that people sort of say, look, there are so many solutions out there for everything. I've yet to come across something that there isn't a solution for, if you're prepared to give it a go. But you can't expect someone else to do it for you. Other people can share and open up an offer, but you have to take that leap of faith or go for it. And, you know, now is the time. As I said, we keep talking about sovereignty, and there's so many aspects to that. But, you know, if you've got your physical health and your mental health, then everything else in your life gets easier. And I just think it's so time for people to do it. I do understand the fear side of things. You know, I had a lovely chat with Dave Mahoney about fear, and I just think, you know, of course, fear is a part of everyone's, and that's where your good friends come in, to just sort of, that's where you get people like us and all the other people that are leading by example. And I'm not saying that from an egotistical way. I'm saying, look, we've tried this, we've done the research for you. We're trying these things on ourselves. There's nothing that Mark and I talk about that we don't try on ourselves, because we're not going to talk about something that we don't believe in, because that would make us charlatans. But there's so many solutions out there, and I just want people to start grabbing them now with open hands. For me, this is what the Great Awakening is all about, is the fact of taking the modern technology and the old wisdom and knowledge and combining them for what you need right here, right now.
Yeah, and the oh, we look amazing, do we? Well, I don't.
Thank you.
Catherine always does.
It's the gin in my water cup.
Your structured gin.
Everyone, whenever you carry your bottle of water around everything, everyone always assumes it's structured water, but it could be anything, couldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Who knows what's in this empty glass? It's I've got to introduce you to this at some point. Grander. Have you heard of Grander?
Oh yes. Known about that. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, love water everywhere.
You wouldn't believe. I've got this little basil plant from the supermarket about a month ago. They usually die after 4 or 5 days. This one's like 10 foot tall. Since I've got that installed, it's amazing.
Oh, brilliant. Flask of structured water, and this isn't thing. This is just showing there's a solution for every budget. The Flask of structured water. One, the animals all self-select it, which is another one. And secondly, the plants are just absolutely amazing. And this is what I mean. It's like, for all of you out there, there's so many wonderful solutions. Explore them. And also put your money into the companies that are really passionately making the world into a better place as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's why some of the things I recommend have got MLM business models. And people always moan about MLM. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Multi-level marketing is giving money to people rather than to corporations to spread the word about their products. What's wrong with that?
It's so true. I've worked in selling natural products for years, never intended to, just because as a therapist, people were then always asking me to supply stuff. And there's nothing wrong with going in shop, but when you go into most shops, they have to sell the highest profit margins. And why would you not want to be part of something you passionately believe in? I do not get. I think the thing is that people, we've got rid of the brainwashing, and a lot of people that are watching this, we've got rid of the brainwashing, and people realize politicians are corrupt. They realize there's a lot of corruption in the education, the medical system, you name it, the financial system. And yet we're still hung up on something like this, like the MLM, when actually, why would you not celebrate a company that is giving you the opportunity to take your power back and share something you love and benefit everyone else? How is that a bad thing? You know, so
I mean, it's like everything else. All they have to do is drop. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Doctor Who?
And not really. I've watched a bit. I mean, I haven't watched it since the Daleks, quite frankly. Yeah.
Exterminate. That power will set me up above the gods, and through the Daleks, I shall have that power.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of know. Anyway, look, there was this episode of Doctor Who with David Tennant where he's with the Prime Minister and he says he could bring down the government with 6 words. And she's like, "What do you mean you can bring down the government?" And all he does is he turns to her assistant and goes, "Don't you think she looks tired?"
Yes.
Right. And 2 weeks later, she's being voted out. And that's how they do it. You know, they just drop one element of doubt. And that's all you have to do. It's the same with these, same with this.
Yeah.
Same with everything, you know, and same with business models that don't fit their agenda, because a lot of the companies making things like ASEA and stuff have to use that business model, because nobody's going to take their adverts, because all the media companies are controlled by the same ones that own all the pharmaceutical companies, right? I mean, I've spent, do you know how much I've spent in the Google ads in the last 15 years?
No.
30 million quid.
What the?
Yeah. So I've given Google 30, not all my money. Some of it was for my business. Some of it I've managed for other people. 30 million pounds. But the amount of adverts now that you can't place.
No, you can't.
They won't let you place them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything to do with health, no. You're not allowed, you know. And people don't realize this. And they should understand it, because that, you know, I mean, Google is really a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, completely. And I've been working with, you know, products that I've used for years, and I don't push the business side of things, but I support people that want to do it, because I think this is the thing, this is where it all comes back to. You know, I am absolutely passionate about people taking back all aspects of their life, because I've done it. I've changed careers so many times in my life, loved every minute of it. And I think, you know, I'm consciously with my family trying to support companies that are doing the right thing. Now, occasionally I go and buy something from one of the ones, but that is very rare now. It's very rare. And it's so satisfying when you're really, because energy, we all know money's only energy. And if you're putting your energy out to where you want it, it's so important. So yeah, I think it's beautiful that people are doing this. And I think people have got to look at, when we're looking at letting go of our perceptions and things like this, we've got to look at all of these hang-ups and look at why. Because why have we been brainwashed to think some of these things are a dirty word? Because they don't want people to have control over themselves. Every self-employed person is someone they can't control.
Exactly. And that's the last thing they want. And that's why they implant all this negative stuff around money in people's heads. And then, of course, in the work that we're doing, some people in this field have, in the last couple of years, made a lot of money. And I'm very happy for them to make money. I don't understand what people's problem is. You know, Charlie, for example, he's got a big team of people that all worked for free at the beginning.
Exactly.
Right. And they were working 12, 13 hours a day for nothing, because they were behind the cause. And then, you know, he put together his insider club, made some money, and then started paying them. And why not? You know,
why not? Exactly.
Doing this is a full-time job.
Tell me about it. Do you want to put Kathy's comment up?
Where is Kathy Rennick?
Yeah. See, I think that's an interesting belief system, Kathy, because for me, it's exactly the same. One, that's not my experience. So I'm not saying it's not yours. I'm not devaluing yours, but I'm saying it's not mine. But for me, I put it into like the junk mail thing. If someone's getting me involved and they're pushing side of the business and I don't want to get involved, I'll just say, no, thank you. But thank you for thinking of me, because thank you for giving me an opportunity. I choose not to progress that at the moment. Conversation over. the people I'm working with in these companies aren't like that at all. They're incredibly there for when people want it, but they're not pushy. So what I would say is, you know, we can all have a bad experience, but don't let that put you off the whole thing, you know. So, you know, you can even get food poisoning from a lettuce if you're unlucky.
Red Disco Dancer. Catherine Mark, do you have any advice for actually getting started a new career path? I have no followers, no experience, but loads of knowledge. Have you never seen my show before? There's a link below this video for a free webinar called How to Monetize What's Already in Your Head. Get a new income stream and become sovereign quickly. It's 30 hours of video content. If you've not got any money, I give it away for free. If you've got money, pay me for it because I'm worth it. That course is amazing, right? It's got everything that's in here and more. You know,
absolutely, do it. Red roller coaster, the Red Disco Dancer. Because the thing is, just start somewhere. Just start somewhere. Absolutely, that's all you got to do, and do it now. Do it today. Yeah,
I don't understand procrastination. I've never understood it.
And enjoy the journey as well. Enjoy all the skills you're learning, because the skills you're learning in starting your new business and the mistakes you make, things like that, those are useful skills that you can share with other people that want to do similar sort of things. So no experience is wasted. But, you know, Mark's taught, there's a tool out there ready that you can literally start today. But the important thing is do something to start today. Do not wait till tomorrow. And for me, this is why we're going back to my morning routine and my evening routine are really, really key. And I really noticed, you know, before 9 o'clock this morning, I'd had all my health products that I start the day with. All the animals were sorted. I'd been for a lovely ride on my gorgeous pony Romeo, who was self-selecting Burdock Root. Check out my Instagram.
I've met Romeo.
He's gorgeous, isn't he? He's really lovely.
He is.
And I'd done my stretching, I'd had my cold shower, and I'd done my Wind Health breathing exercise, and that was all before 9 o'clock this morning. And there was a lot of animals to feed, trust me. So yeah, I would just say start today, enjoy the ups and downs of the journey, and share that information with other people, and you will love that, because it's just as fun, isn't it, Mark, passing that information forward as going through the journey yourself.
Well, you know, a lot of these things are life-changing, and I get loads of feedback from people saying things that I've done have been life-changing for them, and that's the reward, really. Just knowing that you've done that, and also people should just remember that we're adventurers, we're seekers. You know, what does I like your strapline on your YouTube channel. What does it say?
Oh well, live, love, learn, and then
I have to go on the channel.
Don't know. Have to have a look at it.
You probably did it 2 years ago, but or wherever you did it. It's a great.
You know, creatively asking conscious questions. So
it's raising consciousness
through curiosity.
Yeah, raising consciousness through curiosity. I think that's lovely, and that's brilliant.
It's so important, and you try these things, and I have such fun trying them. I really do. It's like, and not all of them, but the one thing you can guarantee with me is I really do my research, because I love researching. And I think that, you know, I really, really love researching. And everyone, I did an interview last Friday, which I published at the weekend with Danielle from ASEA again, and Beth. And it was just Debbie, actually, from ASEA. And it was just wonderful. And Beth, everyone who talks to me, you know, they're like, gosh, she asked the questions that no one else asked, have to go right. But that's what I love doing, because I love really looking into it, because I've got the type of brain that likes looking at the scientific side of things and the spiritual side of things. Other people have got different types of brains. So if I want to know something about the Bible or Tartario, I'll listen to Bryce. You know, there's we've all got different passions and interests, and different areas we love researching. So that's what I make use of. I do the stuff myself that I love, and where it's not something I really want to go and research myself, I find people that have done that for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, a good question here from GSD Bella 11. Yeah, Granda, just hold off on the Granda stuff, because I've been working with this company, and they're an interesting company, and I've got an expert, the greatest expert I've met in water, who's taught me divining, recently, and he's been working with water for over 50, 60 years, and he's got some really, I'm getting a show together with him, so just hold off on the grander stuff until you've seen that show, because that's going to be mind-blowing. And also I'm trying to get discounts built into their stuff because it's quite expensive. But thanks for the comment though.
I know I've seen about what do I use for my structured water. So if you go to my YouTube channel and my website, you'll see a really lovely interview with the chap that owns Flask Water. So I've been using Flask Water for structuring the water for years. And then I managed to persuade the gorgeous CEO to come on my channel because the products are just amazing. And I also had one of my other friends who's the most amazing naturopath, Caroline, she's going to be coming on my show soon because she does the dry blood analysis and she's amazing. And I had my blood analysed and her exact memo is, oh my God, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because, you know, I use the structured water, I use the ASEA and I use the roots and I care for what I eat sort of thing. But it's brilliant to get this validation. And what I love about all these solutions, there is literally something for every budget. There is it. I've had my Flask bottles for years. I've dropped them off my horse. I've driven off with them on my car. They've got the cork things. They've got the most beautiful herbal tea things now, and they're beautiful. And then the grander, as you said, it's been absolutely amazing. Oh, Kelly, fantastic. Kelly, I'm going to call you later or tomorrow. I've got something to speak to you about. Kelly, you just put her up a bit a minute ago, trying to get business going. It's difficult over every avenue. Yeah, Kelly, I've got something to talk to you about. But anyway, that you will get it, Kelly. You just got to find that, you know, keep going, find exactly what you want to do with it, and you will absolutely get there without a shadow of a doubt.
Well, it's knowledge plus perseverance. I mean, this book, the strategy in this book, I mean, I wrote this about 5 years ago. So it's only 162 pages, right? But that is exactly the strategy that I've used to generate hundreds of millions of pounds. It's all there, right? So you need a bit of knowledge, but the thing that where most people lack is perseverance and stamina. So I have found that in my business career. I do tend to outlast most people that I've been in business with or known because I just keep getting up and keep doing it.
Like Weeble. Do you remember those Weebles?
Yeah.
But they
don't wobble, but they don't fall down.
I'm a like, you can ping me and ping me and ping me, and I will still bounce up. Trust me.
I noticed that when I ordered the fourth bottle of wine when we met.
Yeah,
she keeps going. Stamina, this woman. I went for a walk with Catherine. It was like I was running behind her like this.
Yeah, I like to do a lot of exercise because it means I can eat more. And someone was joking. I think you were probably Craig. Are you joking about animal-based diet, perchance? No, Mark's animal-based. I am plant-based. Yeah. So.
Well, I was plant-based until 6 months ago, and I'm just experimenting with the other side of it to experience the results. And I think there's a lot. I don't think we're going to need food where we're going. I think this is a case of what do you do now to make yourself stronger until you get there.
And I think it's really important people do that, Mark, don't you? It is important that you all start doing stuff to make yourself stronger. If we're going to have these bodies for a lot longer, we want them to be as good shape, regression or not. Sovereignty, don't rely on the solar flash to regress and sort out all your issues for you. It can help, but make life easy for yourself. And the solar flash.
And the fact that you and me are on different sides of that coin, yet still have a friendship and still discuss things, should be an inspiration for everybody else, because that's how we move forward.
Yeah, don't worry. I pray for you every night that you'll see.
I pray for you and all those poor plants.
Yes. But yeah, I think it is really, it is really, really important. You've got to experiment. You've got to be authentic to yourself. And, I love my cats. They eat things at the moment, but they won't be where we're going. And I know that because I can really, really, really clearly remember my time on Atlantis, always have done. And none of the animals ate each other then. And I've always known that. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You mentioned Atlantis before, and I've been racking, I've been wondering, was I on Atlantis? And I had a 3-hour conversation with a spirit yesterday called Cassandra. and she said that I was at Atlantis, but not in a physical body.
Mm.
That's why I can't remember being there, because I was an influencer and a creator, but not actually there. And that's what I'm loving about this time is, you know, coming back to what you were saying. This is the Great Awakening, and there are more and more people out there looking for these solutions and looking to try things and taking that jump, because a lot of it is a jump. You know,
Yeah.
I was saying this morning that, you know, we're so indoctrinated to go to the GP instead of trying to fix it yourself, you know. But we've been given no choice now. I mean, who in their right mind would go to a GP now after what they've done in the last 2 years? I mean, they've been fully exposed.
I'm going to put my very attractive jokes on, because I need to show you something really important now. There is, I will send it to, I'll send you the link afterwards, but there's a brilliant podcast I listened to, can't remember the name at the moment, but I found it was on the Dr. Chatterley one, and it's a chap in America who's setting up a completely new way of healthcare. Now, it's not new, it's about groups of non-doctors, in a bit like the model of Alcoholic Anonymous, helping people cure themselves through chronic illnesses. And it's just absolutely fantastic, because when you do it in this way, you can get past some of the legislation, particularly if your doctor prescribes you to go, because most chronic illnesses are actually a social problem rather than a physical problem, because we know that even though people still like to say they're inherited, virtually none of them are. You know, like the old joke goes, you've got diabetes not because diabetes runs in your family, because no one runs in your family, which I really love. But I'm being mean, guys, you know, but I don't really mean to be mean. I'll give you a hug whilst I say it. But there's so many people spreading up now where, you know, sharing this knowledge and doing it. And one of the things that this last couple of years has done has really made that break for people. So many people have made that break away from thinking, hang on a minute, I don't want to go to hospital unless I break my leg or my neck. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go and ask my GP for health advice, because they're not trained to give me health advice. So the penny is really dropping, and I think it's going to keep dropping for people. And the thing is, you get up and you try it and be the best advocate for what you're doing, you know.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of questions about wine. Whatever you consume, you can bless. You can pull in healing white light, and you can cover whatever, cigarettes, wine, whatever it is, and just say, this is blessed with the divine white light, and no harm shall come from it. And we have that power, and people don't realize that we have that power. We've all got healing hands, you know. I did Reiki, and I got told I got told by a big Polish guy. He said, "You are best Reiki master I ever met." And I was like, that was the last time I healed anybody. But we've all got this natural abilities, and we can change the structure of everything. And one thing I've heard recently, which I think is interesting, is a few people have been saying that I'm shining, right? And Honey told me last week that the light beings here on Earth now are the DNA changes to crystalline. We're at about 60%, but nobody's really going to properly notice it until they're about 80%, and that's coming quite rapidly. Are you noticing any? Because you look younger than when I last saw you.
I do honestly feel younger. I'm not being funny. It's obviously mentally I'm regressing very rapidly, but that's a long while. But in all seriousness, I really do feel so much younger, because I'm doing a lot of the things that we've already spoken about. And I'm seeing loads of questions saying, can you tell me? If you go to my catherineedwards.life website, there's a products page. So all the products I talk about are on there, including the structured water. And seriously, when you watch the interview with that guy, he's the nicest person you will ever meet from Flasker. But yeah, I do feel a lot younger, and I think it is. But also, I think it's really important for me that we don't need other people to tell it to us. And I don't mean that you just telling me I look younger, but there's a lot of people that, yes, it's nice when someone tells you something and confirms it, like tells you about the crystalline and things like this. But I still think it's putting your power outside of yourself. We don't need someone else to tell us we're a good healer. We don't need someone else to tell us whether our DNA is changing or not. We need to tune into ourselves and trust ourselves. And then when you get confirmation from other people, that's wonderful. But there's a difference between that and sort of being dependent on it. Does that make sense? Because there's a lot of people watching this that aren't necessarily having those contacts with all those people, but you can feel it yourself. You can feel when you're making choices that your tomorrow self is going to thank you for. And it is literally that simple. What are you choosing today? Are you being consistent with the habits that you know make you feel better?
Yeah, and I've been saying the same thing. You know, all of these ideas that are around in the truther community, like the RV and the QFS and XRP and all these financial things, it's jam tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You can't live on jam tomorrow. You've got to deal with what you've got in front of you and get on with it today. That's what I think. And when you start doing that, you're in flow with yourself. And when you're in flow, everything in your life improves.
Yeah.
Your frequency goes into the right state. When you're sat there waiting for the price of silver to go up or XRP to go up or whatever, you're actually putting yourself out of balance because a part of you is waiting for something that's outside of your control to happen.
Yeah.
And that's not being in flow. And that's when, you know, that's why I'm doing things like soul retrievals with Abby Wynn. And, you know, I'm having all my own healing sessions. I mean, it's all about healing, right? And the healing, what I've realized is that it's all preparation for what's coming. And it's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. And you got to be working, you got to be firing on all fronts. But it doesn't mean you have to stop drinking wine. It doesn't mean, you know, they don't give a shit whether you drink wine or smoke cigarettes. There is no judgment anywhere in where we're going. It's a judgment-free environment.
And you and I like to go for balance. You know, everyone's got different things that sort of uplift them. And if you're the type of person, for example, where alcohol, I get so much stick from when I used to sit there with Janine having my glass of wine in the evening. I mean, seriously, I think, God, if that's all you can find to criticize me for, then get alive. You know, if you're the type of person that alcohol doesn't affect negatively, then there's a resonance and you can take it. But you know, by the time you get to an adult, whether you're the type of person, whether alcohol does affect you negatively. And if so, you might want to avoid it. And also it's things in moderation. You know, I like to eat a healthy diet, but I equally eat unhealthy things. I might go for the sort of 80-20 rule as a rough thing. You know, if 80% of what I'm consuming is really great, lifting my vibration, my cells are saturated with good stuff. So the other 20% I can not worry about. But equally, not worrying about it is really important because, like you said, if you've got nothing, you can bless your food and that can transform it instantaneously. So I think I'm at a stage in my life where I've realized the benefit of making conscious decisions today that are going to affect how I feel tomorrow. And that's what I sort of ask myself, and that's going to be different for all of us. And I think honoring yourself and doing that, but you've got to be honest with yourself. You can't just sit there and blame other people for why you're not getting the results you want in your life. You can seek support from other people. My God, there's so many people I seek support with. But no one else can do it for you. So if any aspect of your life, and I doubt whether there's one single person here watching us, every single one of us will have one aspect of our life that we feel might be a bit out of balance and we want to do it. So great, that's where we focus on and we get some support to help us with that.
Absolutely. Alison, just sign up to the free webinar that's in the description and get on with it. It's all there, you know.
Please do, Alison. Please.
It's free. And look, I'm not saying my course has all the answers, but it takes you through the process of getting over yourself, getting over your fear of money, getting over the ability to create a product quickly, getting over your knowledge of how to start to find an audience for that. It's all there, you know. And if it's a springboard that takes you to somewhere else, brilliant. I've done my job. You know, just stop procrastinating. Yeah, I mean, meditation, really, it all comes back to meditation.
Yeah.
You know, I've not meditated as much as I should have done because I'm too busy. That's my excuse. That's my bullshit I've got to get through. But, you know, a lot of my strength has come from sessions where I've meditated. And sometimes that could last a year.
Yeah.
In terms of the information that you get in and the deep knowing. And you know, this is really about remembering who you are, this whole process. And the more you remember who you... I had a conversation this morning with a friend on WhatsApp, and I sent her some stuff about what I'd learned in this spiritual chat. You know, apparently I was this guy and I did this and I did that. And she said, I don't think it's about who you were. It's about who you are here and now. But my argument is that, it's not really an argument, my viewpoint is that the more we know about who we were, the more we'll understand who we are now and what our job is. And that's what I think a lot of people are starting to realize, that it's not about finding the love of your life. It's about finding the love inside you, because you are the love of your life, or you should be. Because once you get to that point, you're vibrating at the right frequency, and then we're ready to go into these higher dimensions. And the golden age is upon us. That's what I'm feeling.
I think those are all really brilliant points. And I think, again, it comes back to balance. So long as you're looking for that confirmation to help you move forward rather than to boost people's ego. I piss myself laughing with some of my friends. Andrea, I think, is on here, one of them. You know, if I see one more person that thinks they were some famous king and famous this, I want to say I was a slug and a cockroach in my last lives. You know, it's so ridiculous that no one ever goes on to past life regression and says, now, I'm not saying I completely believe in past lives and I completely believe in what you say, but I think you've also got to make sure that you're using it for, like you said, Mark, to understand yourself better rather than to tick something off on your ego. Because I do see a lot of that, and I just think that's really not constructive and a bit silly.
Well, the one thing I will share from this session is that I did come back multiple times and infiltrate secret societies, and that really resonated with me, because I've got walls of books about the Masons and the blah blah blah. I've been studying since I can remember. I've been studying these guys because I really wanted to understand what they were all about. And I felt very much like when I came into this life, I was hidden and then just pushed around to do all these different jobs and things before I got. We've talked about that before, but by the time all this stuff happened, it was like all the skills that we'd accrued suddenly made us kind of qualified to do this.
Yeah. I agree, and people will resonate, and the only person you've got to feel comfortable with you. Like, I know I've been a witch in quite a few different lives, witches and wizards. Hence the fact I'm still so fascinated with my ointments and my herbs and my natural remedies. And I know I've been drowned in a few of them as well. But I can say it laughing because I'm like, okay, but I'm here now. So it's interesting, and it explains some of my personality traits and things. But I can't prove it, and I don't need to prove it. If it resonates for me, that's good enough. And I do think these things can be really, really useful for people, so long as it's kept in balance, and so long as they're not using it as an excuse for not moving forward with their life that they're in right here, right now.
Couldn't agree more. We've done an hour.
We've done an hour.
Yeah, I think. But this is the third show I've done. Is it the third show? I've got another one. I'm interviewing somebody who's running for the Senate, I think, or Congress later. That's my first politician. But it's one of the new politicians. It's one of the politicians that's come out of MAGA, which is not really a politician. It's just a human being standing up and doing something, because we've got to displace all these idiots. And so that's going to be interesting. Have you got good things coming up this week? Things to look out for on your show?
Yeah, what have I got this week? I've got, I have to sort of have a look at things. I've got a chat with Bryce coming up. I've got a really good live on Friday for those of you that love your health with my lovely vet friend, Dr. Timo, and with Lance Shuttler. We're going to be giving some real solutions for humans and animals on health and mobility. And as I said, I've got a few other sort of surprise things that I'm not quite sure when they'll be coming up, but they will be, that are going on in the background. So yeah, I'm actually cutting back a bit on the shows that I'm doing, because I'm doing a lot of research into some really interesting areas at the moment. So I'm making some time for doing that, and we're adding some really exciting new content to some of our courses as well. So I'm cutting back a bit. Oh, and I will be back with Ishmael and Sherry Div Band within the next week or two as well. So that will be a really good one. I'm going to a concert on Wednesday night, and also my son's just come back from university, so I'm spending a little bit of time with him before he buggers off somewhere else very quickly.
Yeah, that's it's a very important time. I sent you a picture of my son when he won a trophy for at the age of 17 for doing the Round Island yacht race, and that's the way. How's your daughter getting on with football?
She's doing brilliantly. She's doing brilliantly. I'm taking her off tomorrow because it's rather a long journey where she's going at the moment. So they're both doing really, really great, sort of really following their passions. And she's a really good guinea pig for me on all my health products because she's such a high performance athlete. We can really see what works straight away and things. So they're really, really great. And touch wood, all my animals are great. We've got the dog sitting. So all really, really good, really positive. And thank you so much for everyone that's joined us. Really lovely to see so many people managing to join us live. Yeah,
it's lovely. It was always great to talk to you. Thanks for
keep shining your light. Bye.
Bye, everybody.